Hey guys, so today me and my friend Brittany, which you guys have probably seen her before, we did a video on friendship, I believe it was. Right?
Yeah,
like how to support other women.
Yes.
That's what it was, yes. So we did that video together, and she's back today because I'm in Colorado visiting with her. So this is her beautiful home. And I was talking with her about possibly doing a video, which you guys have already seen from the title, about kind of how to speak with a friend who has fertility issues when you don't. I think a lot of us women that don't struggle with those, we don't always know what to say or how to handle certain situations. And sometimes things come out way wrong.
It's kind of like for infertility etiquette.
Yes. So that is kind of what we decided that we would do a video on. So if you want to tell them a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, we have been going through our fertility journey for the past 5 years. And we haven't gotten pregnant, and it's been a massive roller coaster with lots of up and downs. So I have PCOS and low thyroid. The PCOS is mostly the reason why I have a hard time getting pregnant. Low thyroid can kind of mix in there too. And then I also have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. There are a lot of health issues, and yeah, but the PCOS is the main reason, I think, why I haven't been able to get pregnant.
And I am also going to link down below her channel so you guys can go ahead, because she has a lot more videos on that on her channel that you guys can, so if you want to get caught up on their journey or just other videos. So definitely go check her out. I have like a list of questions that we kind of, well, she mostly came up with them. A list of questions that I am basically going to ask her the proper etiquette of on that certain situation, and she's going to kind of talk about it, and we'll just kind of have like a conversation type video.
Yeah, I kind of want to like preface it, is that the word?
Yep.
I'm not one of those people that is super sensitive with the whole infertility thing. There are people out there who are like super sensitive and they're really going through a hard time. Everybody goes through different things in their life differently. Some are more emotional than others. And so I'm kind of like gonna answer the questions based on somebody that's a little bit more like just going through the thick of infertility and they're really at like their lowest point. I feel like I've kind of already had my lowest point and I'm kind of starting to come back up. And also just that I feel like from somebody who is going through infertility that it's important to not always be offended. Like, it's great for your friends to try to not offend you and to be courteous of your feelings, but as somebody going through infertility, my recommendation is try not to be that person that your friends have to like tiptoe around. You want to be happy for your friends and you don't want them to have to constantly be
unsure of how to act,
because you're always getting offended. Yeah. So yeah.
But so Brittany did, when she was thinking about these questions, looked up blog posts of other women as well. So it's not just like a one-sided answer. No,
I'm trying to have like a neutral, the infertility world, not just my personality. So
the first question to kind of get us started, and I think it's probably the perfect question to start with, is how do you ask them about their infertility journey?
It's kind of, this is kind of a broad question. I think different people, depending on your relationship with them, can ask in a different way. My number one recommendation is to not always ask. Is that something that I've dealt with? Is like I've told people that we're trying, and every single time they see me or they talk on the phone, it's their first question. And I understand why.
Obviously, I have not gone through this, so I don't know. But I feel like when you have fertility issues, it can kind of become your whole world. So when even the people in your world start constantly bringing it up, I mean, that would be a lot harder then, because it's already constantly on your mind, I'm sure. And then you're trying not to think about it, and it's the first comment out of someone's mouth.
Yeah, like when you're hanging out with your friends, you're kind of wanting to get your mind off of the fertility world. And so when they bring it up, it just kind of like sucks you right back in. And I think the best rule of thumb is if they want to talk about it, they'll bring it up. So don't always ask. You know, every now and then you can kind of hint and say like, so how are things going? But if they want to talk about it, or if they want to tell you that they're pregnant, they're gonna tell you. It's not like, oh, I'm glad you asked, because I wasn't gonna tell you unless you asked, type of thing. Like, let them kind of lead the way. So
the next 3 questions are kind of having to do with how to approach someone who has fertility issues when you are pregnant. So the first one we'll probably do is, how do you tell them that you're pregnant?
I'll kind of give my perspective on it. I feel like I'm always the last person to find out that somebody's pregnant, because they feel like they can't tell me. They feel like I'm gonna take it the wrong way, or it's gonna hurt my feelings, or that I'm gonna get discouraged. And so I feel like they wait to tell me because they're scared to tell me. And for me, I don't get offended with the whole fertility stuff very easily, but that's like the #1 thing that offends me. I already feel like a little bit like an outcast when you see everybody getting pregnant and having babies and you're kind of like off here to the side. And so I really appreciate it when my friends don't treat me differently and they don't kind of tiptoe around my feelings. I would say that if you have a friend that is going through infertility, I mean, if you're super close friends, I mean, if you barely know them, it's different, but I would say tell them first, because you don't want to tell everyone and then tell everyone, how do I tell this person? How do I tell this person? And then they find out through the grapevine, and then now they're offended that you're treating them differently. And that's just like a really harsh sting, because you don't want to be treated differently. I think the reason why it offends me is because I feel like my friends don't trust in me that I have the ability to be happy for them. Like, I'm not just a bitter person. I know I'm going through my own difficulties, but I still am friends with you. I still love you. Or if we're sisters, or if you're a sister-in-law, or whatever it may be, I still have the ability to remove myself and just be happy for you. And I would just say that when you tell them, just be courteous. Like, there's no real easy way to tell them. Like, you have to say the words, I'm pregnant. I mean, like, there's no other real way to like say it, but I would just say it in a very sensitive way, and don't like, you know, wave their pregnancy test in front of their face and say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to feel the first kick, and I can't wait to take maternity pictures, and I can't wait to see the gender, and like going off on all the like wonderful things of pregnancy. Like, just kind of be sensitive with it, but there's no like right thing to say. I mean, there's only one way to tell somebody that you're pregnant, and that's by saying, I'm pregnant.
So this one kind of rolls into that last one because we kind of brought it up a little bit. How do you handle the excitement of the pregnancy?
I think the same thing. Just be sensitive with it, and again, don't exclude them. I think that like if you're going baby shopping, that might be something like Arianna's pregnant, and if she was going baby shopping and she invited me, I would be thrilled because I want to go baby shopping. I've been wanting to go baby shopping for like 10 years and it hasn't happened for us. So if I can kind of like, you know, have some of the joy with her, like live vicariously a little bit, like I think it's really touching when you include them versus exclude them. I
do think it is important to point out that Brittany and I have a very close friendship. So asking someone like, do you want to go baby shopping with me, for someone that's not super close to you that may have fertility issues, that might be taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely in all of this that we talk about, keep in mind the type of friendship and relationship you have with that person.
Right. I know that a lot of women going through infertility can't go to baby showers. Like, they just can't do it. It's just something that they won't walk into. They feel like they're just going to be crying the entire time, and it's really painful for them. And so if you have like a best friend that's going through infertility and they wake up that day and they're already wanting to cry just thinking about going to a baby shower, and they call you and say, I'm sorry, I can't make it, just be understanding. I know that that could be hurtful, but if you have a friend that is, or a family member going through infertility, the biggest thing that you can do for them is just be sensitive and understanding. But as far as the excitement, you can be excited, and you don't have to, because on the same token, or on the other side of the token, the person who's going through the infertility journey or fertility journey, they have an etiquette.
That's my question. What do you call it? Infertility? Like infertility journey or fertility journey? I never know which one to call it.
I don't either. I think either one is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that there's an etiquette that the person going through the journey needs to follow too, and they can't be offended at everything. They have to they have to be happy for their family member or their friend, and so just don't be overly showing it in their face, but you can still be excited and include them.
Last question regarding actually being pregnant, and that is, what should you not do during your pregnancy?
I think this is kind of like the bigger one. I think from the blogs that I've read, people get more offended during the pregnancy than when people find out that they're pregnant. And I think that it's because when somebody finds out that they're pregnant and they're telling their friend or their family member that they're pregnant, and they know that their friend is, or family member is going through infertility, I think that that's when they're the most sensitive, and then as the pregnancy goes on, they kind of think that they have to be less sensitive. But I think as the pregnancy goes on is really when you have to be more sensitive, because that's when your friend or family member is like seeing your glorious miracle of life pregnancy that is something that they can't do. And so it can kind of get more bitter as the pregnancy goes. So you definitely want to make sure that you kind of keep that same sensitivity throughout the entire thing. I've written down a few things that I've kind of heard people on blogs and stuff say that really offends them. Number one is don't complain about your pregnancy. Now, obviously, if you're close family members or if you're friends, if you're pregnant, you should be able to call your friend and say, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten anything done today because I've been throwing up all day. Like, your friend should be able to be there for you and to listen to you because it's a two-way street. But there's a difference between saying that and saying, oh my gosh, I hate this pregnancy. I'm sick all the time. I just can't wait for it to be over. When you're saying things like that to somebody who's going through infertility, it can be absolutely crushing because that person would give anything to have the worst morning sickness in the world. And so when you're going through it and all you're doing is just like being really negative and complaining, it can just really be like a slap in the face. Another thing that I've heard people say that they get really offended on is when the mother is going through all of the changes with her body, like the stretch marks and her boobs changing and spider veins or whatever, the weight gain, and then they tell their friends that are going through infertility or fertility journey, whatever it is, they tell them that, oh, you should be grateful that you're not pregnant so you don't have to deal with these stretch marks, or you should be grateful that you're never gonna have kids because your boobs won't get ugly or whatever. And it's like, again, that's just the biggest slap in the face that you can give to somebody who's going through this, because they would give anything to like have their boobs chopped off if they needed to have a baby, or have the world's worst stretch marks or morning sickness. Like, they would take all of that on gladly to have their baby. So when you tell them like you should be grateful, it's like you're telling them that they should be grateful that they're going through this horrible journey that is bringing them so much heartache, and it's just another really big slap in the face. So you can complain about your pregnancy and you can kind of make fun of it, like, oh my gosh, these stretch marks.
But more from a grateful standpoint.
Yeah, always say that you're grateful, and always, you know, be coming from a positive side of it.
So this last question, neither of us have experienced, but we thought that we should touch on it a little bit, is how do you treat a miscarriage?
Yeah, this can be a tricky one because I've been there. Have you been there? Not with a miscarriage, but having somebody who has had a miscarriage, and it's really uncomfortable because I think you want to say the perfect thing that's gonna make them not sad anymore, because whoever is going through it, they're close to you and you love them, and it's such a horrible thing to go through. And I feel like, at least I like feel the need to fix it and to say the perfect thing. And I think I've always said the wrong thing based on my research. And the thing that I would always say, and I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but this was just my not having gone through it. When you don't go through something yourself, it's hard to have the perfect compassion for it. And I've never had a miscarriage, but I would always say that there was something wrong with the baby, because from what I've read in like health books and stuff, when you have a miscarriage, it's most likely because your body knew that there was something developmentally wrong. I always felt like if I told them, oh, there was something wrong with the baby, that I'm telling them it wasn't your fault. It's not that you didn't get enough sleep. It's not because you ate something weird. It's not because you exercised this morning. Like, it's not your fault. It was out of your hands. And so I always thought that that was comforting to hear. But from all of the blogs that I've been reading, that's like what you don't say. And really what like all of these women said was that they just wanted somebody to tell them, I'm here if you need me, if you need to talk to anybody, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep and you need somebody to talk to, pick up the phone and call me or text me. I will always be here for you. I'm sorry you're going through this, and I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I don't know exactly what to say. I wish I could fix it. I know I can't. So I just want you to know that I love you and I'm here for you if ever you want to talk. And do it a few times. Don't just make it a one-time offer. Like, check in with them.
Don't make it feel like it was an obligation response, but more that you genuinely really just want to be there for them.
From all the research that I've done, that's like the thing that everybody says that they wish that their family members and their friends said. And they all said that everybody kept trying to fix it for them, and that just wasn't the way to go.
And we have one last one. And we didn't actually have like a question for this, but we decided we'd kind of wrap it into some of the things that can be said after you already have kids to someone that may have fertility issues.
So something that I was reading a lot, so I figured I would talk about it, is when somebody's going through their journey and they have a friend that has kids, their friend or family member always tries to make them feel better about not having kids. And again, it's coming from a good place. They're just trying to make them feel better, but they say, oh, you should be grateful that you don't have kids. We can't just up and go to the movies, or you should be grateful that you don't have kids. I just got spit up on by my 6-month-old. And they kind of like try to convince them that they shouldn't want kids and that they should be grateful that they don't have kids. And I know that that's something that I have been offended about too, and so I think that it's a very common thing to be offended with the whole fertility journey, because I feel like people just feel bad for you, and so they try to convince you that you should be grateful for where you're at, and they don't understand that you know that having kids is going to change your life, and you know that there's plenty of bad days in motherhood, and you know that you're going to have headaches and you're going to get spit up on and you're going to cry in a corner sometimes, but they're wanting to take that on with so much gratitude. Like they want that, and they're not dumb. Like they know what having kids takes. Yeah.
So that's the end of our fertility etiquette video. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it helped a lot of you guys out, from those that do struggle with it and those that aren't. I know that as someone that hasn't, I have had those questions before. And a lot of them, you know, you sincerely want to help and want to say the right thing, and sometimes you just don't know. And I think that's with several areas of life, that if you haven't experienced it, you don't always know what to say. We just kind of wanted to make this video to help as many of you women out that we could. As many of you that see this video, hopefully it was helpful. Make sure you guys do go check out Brittany's channel. So if you guys are watching this the day it went up on Thursday, and her video will be up tomorrow, so make sure you guys go subscribe to her so you can get
her in it.
Yes, so make sure you guys go subscribe to her so you can get that video upload in your subscription box, and go check out some of her other videos. I know she's like one of my best friends. We met through YouTube, and she's literally been the best person to ever walk into my life.
Not gonna cry.
Don't cry, don't cry.
We're sharing our fertility journey on there, so if you're curious about what I've been talking about, go there. I just wanted to add something really quick. When I was researching this on the blog posts, where I got a lot of my information was in the comments down below, because those blog posts really sparked up just a nice infertility etiquette conversation. If you have any good tips, any good piece of information, leave it in the comments down below, and let's have a good talk about how to support each other going through infertility.
I think that's one thing that me and Brittany are really big on, is helping support each other as women, because it's so catty these days.
Yeah.
It's really not healthy.
No.
So that's kind of why we do these type of videos, because we just think everyone should just love everyone, you know? I mean, you can't like everyone, but you should try and love everyone.
Yes.
We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you check out Brittany in the description box below. And I will also have her linked above in the cards for you guys as well. And I think that's it.
Yay!
So,
thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being on. So I will see you guys next week as always. Bye.
Bye.
I had like a bunch of videos I remember to do. I forgot to do that one, so her 8-month update will be 7 and 8 combined, because I have a fun video that actually includes Ryan for you guys. It's actually just Ryan, so look forward to that. And so yeah, I'm gonna roll the footage of telling him now, and we will see you guys next week, right? As always.